So let's have a fret well joke. Oak stump, size 10 and a half. no 14, but you guys get the point. Howdy guys, welcome. Rolling down to the shop. I have 20 minutes until my boy gets here with pizza. So I'm gonna fire up to 12. Taylor's already got the lawn, well, the area of the lawn soaking, trying to keep the dust down so that I can do a little subsoil action, get that thing warm. And we got to do its first service call on the thing. We got to change the oil and change the hydraulic filters. But I just wanted to fret well, mid-state land clearing, size 14. He's doing some heavy mulching right now. Look at that. Zoom in on his rig. Thing's a champ right there. See him after the mulch. Sure guys follow him. So let's run in here, let's grab the 12 and let's get this thing started. Those of you guys ragging on me about not having the lights, I added some lights last night and I'll show you a photo of me setting them up. So I got the 12 in here. This place is just, lack of time is getting the best of me. But I tried to set them all up individually. I hung those little guys and they're way better than those. But those, you can see the difference. Bright as crap, kind of bright as crap, not really. That one's actually the best one in here. But let's fire up the 12. Let's get this party started. She left the rake right here. I almost ran it over and didn't even know it. I wanted her to film this, but she ran back in the house. I just drove up that. You can't even tell how steep that thing is. But anyway, this is what I want to do to warm it up real quick. This was all a bunch of shrubs and manzanita and a bunch of crap. So I'm going to, she didn't get quite over there. She soaked it down for me and I'm going to go ahead and mulch these things up. So hopefully this thing can all be lawn at some point later on in our lifetime here. Bada bing kind of ruins it when I spun around, but I'll kick out these high humps a little bit. But all those little stumps, I mean, there's a couple stayed here, but that thing's fluffed up, might as well be gone. But I spent about 20 minutes last night, tried to pick up the rocks best I could. But you tell me, try hitting this with knives. I mean, it fell apart with the carbides. It's not good for it by any means, but subsoiling over here. breaking it down into something that's going to be nice for something to grow on. And I tried hitting that stuff over there, but there was just too much rock. I'm gonna have to go in there with something else. It's not worth it. Size 10.5. no 14, but you guys get the point. We gotta find it. Where'd it go? There it is. Flush with the ground. She gone. And then I went ahead and knocked out one of these over here. This one you can still see. Did a double. That's not bad for skid steer or track loader horsepower with carbides. I'll probably come back in here with a stump grinder if I don't put a layer of dirt across the whole top of this thing. But that was a bigger one there for height. But she gone. So I'm gonna check, see if my buddy's here. If not, I'm gonna keep working. Oh, he's here. It's time to go eat. Then we're gonna go work on this son of a gun. Alrighty guys, I had my pizza and it was delicious. So, a couple things. For some reason, the antenna got robbed off of this machine to go on another one down at Global, but they hooked it up and took care of me. They just gave me a whole new one instead of just that little piece missing. Got the whole shebang. So that's extra parts, but Jim also brought up a couple other goodies. We got some new filters. Yes, it does have a Kubota diesel in there. So I had him grab me 2 extra engine oil filters, hydraulic filters to boot, and then this stuff is freaking expensive. 25 bucks a gallon. Dello 10W30 Sin Blend. I only needed 3.5 gallons, but I figured since I was there, what the heck, I'll just buy an extra one. That's what my hands could carry. So we're gonna get started by popping the cab up on this bird. There's Bad Larry Tyler Geener right there. He's fixing. I just told him you're gonna go out and do some weed eating. You got to get your weed eating attire on.
We're set.
There's a weed eater. You got the belt's in there, but not hooked up. So, good luck. Anyway, be back. Okay, for you guys that aren't in the know about popping a cab on these rigs, really easy. You got 2 bolts. Switch it over to the little power tool so you can get somewhere in timely manner. You want to make sure you take your Miller Lite out of the cup holder. I only said Miller Lite because somebody was talking about drinking Miller Lite watching the V-Belt and Son video. Then you just simply alright, come over here because everybody's gonna be worried about safety. Safety pin. There we go. Now the cab's not going anywhere. Alright, anyway, back to business. I had to go take care of the swamp cooler. That's my buddy Tyler. He's the one that owns the 12 valve, the new one, the 5-speed, not Grandma's truck. But I made him crawl up on the roof to do the repair the swamp cooler leak. But check this out, right here. Them right there, those are your hydraulic filters, oil filters, fuel filter, the whole mix right there. Nice, easy, remotely placed into a good location so that it's easy to access them suckers. So one other cool thing is this right here. They do sell this aftermarket for pickups, but for your oil, you screw this on there, you take the little cap off that's on there, and you screw this on there and it detents, opens it up, and then it starts draining your oil. You don't actually have to pull drain plug and get the rush of fluids coming right down. So gonna go underneath there, hook this up, and this is the first time I ever used one of these, so we'll see how this works. You can see what I'm doing. Gonna stick this tube up in there. You guys can see the cap is hanging right there. I just thread this thing on by hand. And engine oil. Yep, there she is. That is freaking nice how you just screw that hose on there. Oh, hell, I forgot to pop the cap on that thing. Don't bubble over. Woo! I've never used one of these little jug ones before. Hopefully, this thing can handle the amount that's about to go into it. I made a mistake earlier when I said hydraulic filters over there. That's regular fuel filter, water separator, and the oil filter's there. Hydraulic oil filter is this one right here, and this canister up here. Remember, rags are your friend. I'm gonna have to, oh, don't fall off there, canister. Definitely gonna have to high pressure this bird off when I'm done here. Containment. Now we can get to this one. This machine has 80 hours on it right now. Be very, very careful not to drop anything in there. Big boy spring keeping your hydraulic oil filter in there. Oh, my bad. Rookie. Well, it appears the filter goes both ways. It's weird for Takeuchi. Settles. Put my little caparoo back on there. Put the big spring back on there. Make sure she's centered. Let's go back with the cap. So that's your main hydraulic filter. Now this one, it goes in the little canister. Get a little bit of oil on there. This one is the filter for your valve body over there. Nearest I can tell. I'm not an expert on this machine, but judging by what I can see, that's what it looks like to me. This is all kind of preventative. When you put a new machine together, you kind of, I would say, roll the edges over a little bit on all your valving and all that stuff. That's the way I would put it. Some guys do this, some guys don't, but this is my first direct brand new machine that I've been exposed to in my adult life. So I figured I might as well try my best to take care of it from day one, even though Jim said I'm a little bit behind on the oil change. But this is the third time it's been home that it's been unloaded. The rest of the times, no, it's the second time it's been home and got unloaded. Other than that, it stays job to job. Pop up my mess and we'll go back to the actual. Okay, two things. I need to have a fridge down here because I need a cold bottle skeet real quick. Second, it does take 3.5 gallons of oil, so the internet was right. I didn't pull a manual out because I was at the store when I needed to know. And check this out. This is how I came up for filling it. The funnel doesn't fit in there quite perfect, so these little tiny bungees that you ever wondered what the heck you use them for, well, that's what you use them for right there. Hold your funnel up. So I got that knocked out of. I'm gonna check the air cleaner, clean the coolers out real quick, and we're gonna call it a night because it is getting kind of late. What time is it now? Oh, it's not that bad. We got like 6 more hours tonight. Alright. But a little jug for the oil worked out slick, so that thing will be perfect. I can throw it in the back of the truck and go dump it on my ex-girlfriend's car, and I won't spill any in the back of my truck. Okay? I'm just kidding. I normally put it in a jug anyway so it wouldn't spill on the back of my truck, but nah. Anyway, get back to work, crunch this out real quick, and then I'll catch up with you guys when I'm done. I wanted to point out the dirtiness of that in there. That is about 40 hours of use. I wouldn't say it's very dirty. I mean, a lot of dust and stuff gets in there, but it's a little bit open on the sides. But back here, somebody asked if it had a reversible fan, and there is an option for a reversible fan. We might get it, might not, but the fan is off of the water pump, so there was reports that the fan reversing would damage the water pump, the bearings and stuff in there. It's very easy to switch that out. You just open this cooler, showed it before, but another thing to note is that is all the debris that is in there after like 40 hours. I cleaned this out once, and there's a little bit underneath there. Will point out one thing that the ASV does have on this, which ASV is pretty legit for having this option. A lot of the belly pans can come out of the ASV. The 12 has 2 of them, decently sized, but in my experience, if you're washing this thing out, I thought because these little pans on the side filled with water to point it downhill so that these would run off. But I didn't think about going in here. There is drain holes all over the place, and when you pop the pans out, you can clean the debris. But if you point the machine pointed downhill, front downhill, all the water and stuff runs up in between your hydraulic tank, your fuel tank, your def tank, and it just collects in a bunch of crap right there. So point the machine uphill, not downhill. If I said that right or messed it up the first time, I'm sorry. But point the machine uphill so the ass end is on the low end, and all the stuff can flow back here, and any of the debris that does not fall out, you can just reach right there and grab it. It's really good. If you guys can see, the cab is blocking the light. There is good light in here, but the cab is blocking it. I probably should have pulled forward like 5 feet. Anyway, clean this out, and then we're gonna start it and be done for the night. Be done. And then go edit this video for you guys. So it's gonna be another late one. But we're champing it out. Which I hope you guys are champing it out. I hope my videos give you guys inspiration, motivation, one of those words. Hope it makes you feel like getting up and going out and doing your thing, because that's part of the reason I make these videos, so that you guys got a little inspiration. Go out there, achieve something for yourself, or partner up with somebody that achieves something. Go out there and make something happen of it. Alright, checking for leaks. That's what I was really worried about, is that thing there. But I got her tight. Being able to lift that cab up out of the way so easily, I like that a lot. As Jim would say, it's easier to get it up than it is to get it back down. It's got 3 big old shock things in there. It doesn't take much to lift it up, but you got to put some body into that thing to get it back down. That's what she said. But I think we're done. We done? We're done. We're done for the night. I'm gonna put all my bolts back in there. 2 bolts hold the cab, 2 bolts hold the coolers, and 2 bolts hold the access port for the engine oil drain. But I will note one thing. These screw together quick couplers. The machine had 6 hours on it when we got it. It's got 80 on it now. Look at that. It's had only the mulcher on it. I think it ran with the bucket on there for maybe 2 hours. So I'll just say at least 70 hours, all mulcher head. And those quick couplers, those screw together ones, are not leaking. You could put those together hand tight. Just get them snug. For something like this that's moving around, you might want to do a little bit more than that. Just with a wrench, just give her a little hump. But for the most part, she's staying on there. And trying to think of some of the questions you guys asked in the comments today's video. Only one that I can think of offhand, JG asked if we need to take a water tank to the jobs, or when we will start to take a tank out there to keep the dust down for the fire. We've already been taking a water tank out there, 500-gallon water tender. We take it to pretty much every job that we mulch on. 1, for fire, like above everything, and 2 is because it makes so much dust using this machine, subsoiling like I was doing over there. You guys saw it on the film just a little bit. The dry areas, you can't see what you're doing and it just sucks. So we take the water tank there, spray it down. If we have to, we'll use the water from the house to fill the tank as we're working on something else, or suck it out of a pond. But the last job from today's video was we just used the guy's garden hose. He had good pressure at the house, so it was all good. But anyway, oh, I have to put the antenna on, and then that will be all for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. TL12 R2 TAKEUCHI, Takeuchi, whatever you want to call it, Global Machinery FAE. I like to support and give a shout to the people that are awesome to us. Pure Diesel Power, Pack Brake, Fast Coolers, any of the people that have helped us along the way. Thank Dad, thank V-Belt. V-Belt's probably the biggest supporter of this whole let me film everything and talk to the camera like a goofball. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have a good recommendation on a place, I like to listen to you, see what that place is about, learn, see how much better that, you know, my life can be with that product or their service in my life. So trying to pass that knowledge I've acquired, such as Global Machinery right there. They made that right there. That worked out good. Thank you. Thank Global. Thanks, Jim. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Hit them button, guys. Hit them buttons, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you later. Swamp Cooler. And the sight glass for the hydraulic oil is down here by your feet. I didn't leak enough to warrant concern, so we're cool on that.